Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Larkin, one half of the S&M Show podcast, and I'm back today with another interview. I am on the line with the very talented, the lovely Miss Salina de la Renta. Salina, very happy to have you on the show today. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thank you for having me.
I'm happy to have you. I gotta say, I love the work that you've been doing in MLW. I love the whole tag team with you and Arya Blake, the Spoiled Brats, and I just look forward to talk about wrestling with you today.
Thank you. I'm pretty excited about this. I love podcasts.
All right, excellent. To begin, just to start, growing up, who were some of your favorite talents, or what was that defining moment or matchup you said, you know what, this is something that I want to pursue, that being professional wrestling?
Well, growing up, I did not watch wrestling at all. And what I knew about it was not what I know about it now. To my understanding, wrestling was just a sport where you would just whack people with things and make them bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I turned around 19, I was a film student. I was going to college for film. And all I did was write movies. That was fun. Then one day, my professor told me that I had to study reality TV. And I came into, I came across Total Divas. And as soon as I saw the women hit the ring, not the actual show, the show was cool, but when they were in the ring, and like a couple clips, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Come on, let me just look it up. That's different. And when I looked it up, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I was born to do this. This feels like this is my job.
Mm-hmm.
I told my mom, and she's like, you're kind of crazy. And I'm like, no. That's it. I'm done with film. I'm doing wrestling from now on. And within a week, I was already training.
And I gotta say this as well. I was actually gonna ask you, let everybody know who you were trained by, and I love asking thoughts going into your first match.
I was trained by Ricardo Rodriguez, Lindsay Dorado,
Mm-hmm.
and Aaron Epic.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my training with psychology and other stuff was Mr. Saint Laurent, and I'm currently under Court Bauer's wing. I love the other question.
Oh, sure, I'll repeat the question. That's fine. I was going to ask you thoughts. I love asking the first match experience. So talk about going into your first match. Who was it against and thoughts going into it?
My first match was a 6-women tag match. It was me, Santana. No, I was tagging with Tia Trinidad, who is Selena Vega in WWE now.
Mm-hmm.
I was tagging with Reagan Fire.
Mm-hmm.
And it was against Dominique Fabiano, Santana Garrett, and Gabby Castrovedeshi, or how you pronounce their name.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was a tag match, and Scott Hall was actually in the audience, so that was really cool. And I don't know, it was a great experience. I broke my tailbone that same day, the first show, and it was before my match. But it was amazing because like I was gonna postpone the match, but because Scott Hall was in the audience, I was like, no, I want to do this, and then get feedback from him, and it was a great experience. It was really cool to work with people that help you be better.
Oh, yeah, and what best, Scott Hall, like you mentioned, was there. Santana Garrett, who has just been all over WWE, Impact Wrestling. She was in the Mae Young Classic. And then even, like you mentioned, like Gabby Castrovinci was in Tough Enough. She was Raquel in Impact Wrestling. So you have a lot of great talents at hand right there.
Yes. They're all awesome. I'm really, really happy that the first place that I picked for wrestling had all these great sources and people that are willing to help,
Okay. Now, I got to say this right now. I love the work that you're doing in MLW, and I know you mentioned Thea Trinidad, Selena Vega in WWE. I see what you're doing there, and I got to say, I love the intensity you bring. It reminds me of Selena Vega when you're managing stars like Pentagon Jr. and that confrontation that you had with Shane Strickland. I just think what you're doing in MLW is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Now, well, speaking of MLW, talk about getting into MLW and how that all thing came into fruition.
Well, as I mentioned before, one of my trainers when it comes to psychology was Mr. Saint Laurent.
Mm-hmm.
He is the MLW vice president.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's how it came about. He was telling me about MLW about 2 years ago, I would say. And he's like, hey, we have this idea, but we just need somebody to, like, compromise, and are you willing to do this? And I said, yeah. So 2 years ago, they started training me. It wasn't like right away. And they started, like, telling me, hey, this is how it works, this is what we're going to do, this is the plan, and I had to keep it quiet a long time. Till maybe a year later that it was going to start.
And I got it. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say I love exactly what you're doing. I mean, what's great about it is I see what you're doing with the whole, the Promociones Dorado, and I think just talk about what that, that whole how that came into fruition as well, because I think just what you're doing as far as Latin talents and just the whole scene there is just amazing as well.
Well, Promociones Dorado was never something that I really wanted to pursue originally, and then I got the opportunity to look into representing talent and what it's about. And of course, I had my injury, so I found a way to be near the ring where I can be equally as passionate and still make a name for myself and not just cry on the side because I can't wrestle. So I would say that's how it came about. And as soon as I managed Pentagon, I thought, like, this is something different, and it gives me a completely different experience, and I can learn in a very different way. It's perfect for me right now.
I gotta say, like I mentioned, it's great to see what you're doing for the Latin talents and just overall in MLW. And I gotta say, another thing that I'm a big fan of, man, you got the spoiled brats with Aria Blake, who you know very well as far as opponent wise, and just also on the tag team scene, you guys doing your thing. To make an analogy, it's kind of like, the original ECW, Flyboy, Rocco Rock, and Johnny Grunge, who were the Public Enemy. They start off as opponents, but once they put them together, the dynamic was there and they became a force in ECW. So I gotta say, watching you guys wrestle each other, you and Aria, and just you together as the spoiled brats, it's a great dynamic, and it just makes for great matches.
Thank you. Yeah, so spoiled brats, we were not tag people. We were put together originally. We had a match, and somebody asked me, would you rather tag with Aria Blake, or I actually don't remember the other person. And I was like, well, I don't even know the other person, so let me just do Aria Blake. Then Aria messaged me, and she's like, hey, let's match some colors and, try to make it look as legit as possible. I'm like, all right. So as soon as we showed up, we were like, this is what we're going to do. We got in the ring, and it was just natural. We didn't really have to try that hard. And the crowd had, like, good feedback, and everybody was like, girls, what you did there, you have to stick together. It's just so good. And we were like, all right, then we're gonna take your word on it. So we started tagging, and it blew up. It was pretty fun.
I gotta say, one of the matches I saw you guys doing, like we mentioned Santana before. I've seen you guys do tag matches with her. I know C Bunny was in a couple of those. I gotta say, I love like I said, the dynamic is great. And just talk about working with, I know you mentioned Santana, but I know you got to get in there with C Bunny, who I believe is also a deaf wrestler. I mean, and she still does her thing. She's an amazing competitor. Talk about working with C Bunny.
Yes, it's working with her was definitely different. I was a challenge because we do communicate in a way. It's kind of hard, and you always keep that in your mind because I wanna make sure that she knows we're on the same page, type of deal. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a challenge, but it's also really impressive because I don't know. I've wrestled injured with a messed up knee. I cannot imagine wrestling without my audition. Mm-hmm. That to me, like, is that audition is the word?
Well, the hearing, her hearing, you're right.
Her hearing. I gotta say I admire her because I think if I lost my hearing, I don't really know how I would do in life. It's just awesome, and the things that she has accomplished, man, that girl, I gotta give her props.
Oh, yeah, and the girl can dance. I mean, I think she did America's Got Talent not a couple of years back. The girl can dance. She can wrestle. She's just a force to be reckoned with. So I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with you on that. And another name
somebody from Myron.
Yep. Another thing I got to mention is, man, you got in there with Dynamite DD. That's another one who I think is a tremendous competitor. Talk about working with Dynamite DD.
Oh, Dynamite DD. Well, she has one of the biggest butts I've seen ever. I think that's something I have to mention.
Okay.
As a wrestler, she's amazing. She, I don't know. Like I have wrestled her maybe 2-3 times, but as a person, she's a great person as well. I don't know. That's a tough one because I haven't wrestled her that much, but I've seen her work.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I had more time with her in the ring, and unfortunately, because I'm injured right now, I can't just go back and be like, hey, remember when I was still new and we wrestled? Well, now I got these cool moves. Let's go do it again. I would love to do that.
Okay. Well, I'll get back to talking. I have a couple more opponents I want to ask you about, but you mentioned the knee. We talked off air very briefly, but let the listeners know. How's the knee doing? How you feeling? And give everybody an update on what's going on with your knee.
All right. If we're worried about how I feel, no, I feel great. It's not an emotional thing. It's good. It's an injury. It happened, and it hurts sometimes when you try to wrestle. But in my normal life, I can live with it. It doesn't hurt. I'm fine. But if I wanted to perform, I have to get surgery, and unfortunately, I'm currently waiting until they call me to schedule my surgery. And after that, I'll be 9 months out because I tore my ACL, my meniscus, and displaced my bucket handle.
Ooh. I'm going to say this to you right now with the utmost sincerity and respect. Speedy recovery. Like I mentioned before, a lot of people, you're a great talent, and I want to see you back in the ring healthy and well. So, again, speedy recovery on that front.
I appreciate that. Thanks for the support.
No problem. Okay, we got to talk about opponents again because you got to wrestle Su Yung, current Knockouts champion on Impact Wrestling. Talk about being in the ring with Su Yung.
Oh, man. I got to wrestle Su Yung for my third match. And I wish that I could have done more. But at the time, it was physically not possible. My training was not that advanced. And I wish that I would get an opportunity to wrestle her again because I feel like now is my time to prove myself and I could bring it on. Like, I think I can take on her, but honestly, like, my first experiences in wrestling have been so good because I got to work with people that are not only legit, they're just really good people. It's crazy how people that are so talented, so famous, can be so humble, you know? And it's also really great learning from these people because now I am being put in a position where I am becoming a star too. And learning from people that are humble and have this good attitude, well, it taught me how to be a better person in general. So I would say Su Yung is one of those people that I look up to because her attitude outside and inside the ring, and she's such a genuine person that it's just amazing working with her.
I'm going to tell you right now, I have had interactions with Miss Su Yung, and just talking to her, and just like you mentioned, picking her brain, you can tell not only does she respect the business, but she's very passionate about what she does, and that's just, again, good head on your shoulders, and just, like I said, look at where she's at now, so.
Yeah, very, very happy for her success.
Now, I got to mention this as well, because you also got to get in the ring with Miss Chelsea Green, a.k.a. Laurel Van Ness in Impact Wrestling, just another one who's tremendous. You also got to work Casey Lennox. Like I said, as I'm looking at these people that you've got in the ring with, like you mentioned, a lot of great talents and just helps you, like I mentioned, become better as a wrestler and just overall.
Yes. Well, Chelsea Green and Casey Lennox, both are people that I have trained with. Chelsea is somebody that's really, really cool to learn from because she's had all these different experiences wrestling in Canada, Japan. I know she was on Impact. She's worked for MLW. She worked for WWE. She did Tough It Up. Chelsea has a huge resume in only a couple years. So learning from somebody that has grown so fast, it helps me a lot because I happen to be somebody who is growing fast as well. And I guess that I can learn from other people's experiences. Casey Lennox is somebody that trained with me, and I actually like seeing how she has started to grow and like expand her horizons too. I know she's injured right now as well, so I don't really know that much on that, but I know she is currently out. I got the opportunity to work with a couple cool people. I got to meet my idol. I worked with Melina. Ali from Impact as well. I've had very, very cool encounters in my career in such a short amount of time. It's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you right now, girl, you got skills. You absolutely got skills. And I got to say this as well. As far as women's wrestling goes, I have to mention this because we've seen evolution, revolution, whatever you want to call it, from who we had back in the day, like girls like Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young, all the way to your Medusas, your Bull Nakanos, and just to have your name, which is going to be, solidified or symbolized or just solidified with how pro wrestling goes as far as women go in general. That's got to make you feel good because going forward, somebody's going to say, hey, yo, one of the reasons why I wanted to get into wrestling is because I saw Salina de la Renta wrestle, so that's got to be huge for you.
That is honestly awesome. I mean, knowing that I was inspired by women's wrestling and knowing that now I turn on my TV and I'm the one that's there, that is just, I don't even know. Like, that was my end game. Now it's like, well, no, that's not it. Now it's new ideas, new projects, and it's just great. I don't know. It's perfect. It
is. Like I said, you got skills, you and Aria Blake, and I got to tell you right now, I truly wish you nothing but the best going forward. I want to see you come back from this injury stronger than ever and just keep rocking it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, 2 other opponents I got to mention before we wrap up. Man, you got to get in there with Katrina recently. Katrina Maxine in WWE, Lucha Underground. Talk about working with Katrina.
That was probably one of my most favorite matches, honestly. That was so fun. We, the card that we were on was kind of intimidating, I'm not going to lie. We have Rey Mysterio, Chavo Guerrero. We had a couple of the guys from Ring of Honor. It was just impressive. And I myself was kind of intimidated. I'm like, I'm not going to wrestle Rey Mysterio. It's just definitely not going to happen. So we were kind of figuring out how we were going to fit in the card because it's such a different style. We both work a little bit on the sexual side when it comes to wrestling. Mm-hmm. And we were just thinking, how is this going to go? Well, little did I know that after our entrances, maybe 2-3 minutes in, we had a This Is Awesome chant, and that was my first This Is Awesome, so I guess that's probably one of the best experiences.
Well, I got to say, I did watch that match. I thought you both came off very well. And I got to say, well, you talk about girls that wrestle sexual. I mean, Salina, the booty monster. I mean, you got the moniker, the booty monster. So that's what I say. You use your assets, no pun intended. But like I said, what you do with the ring is amazing. But for real, yeah, that's the utmost sincerity and respect to you. But yes, I had to get that in there because, we talked about Dynamite DD. So we'll incorporate that as well.
She has something really cool. She calls it Booty Mania. I think it's cool.
Yes. Okay, now, this one I have to mention, because this individual was on TV not too long ago. Man, you got to get in the ring with Isla Dawn, who we just saw not too long ago on the WWE UK tournament wrestling. Talk about working with Isla Dawn.
I got injured in that match.
Oh.
That's when my injury happened. And I got to say, that was probably going to be the best match that I had. Because midway, it was so good. I could not even breathe. She was kicking me, but it was so good. I knew that the crowd was into it, and it was so worth it. And then unfortunately, I didn't get to finish. I worked with her twice, but the second match the one that I got injured, I didn't get to finish it, and I wish that I could. I've thought about that night so many times. I wish I could go back and finish it and done something different. But I guess I'll just wait until I come back and try to get my opportunity to finish that match. Because I got some unfinished business I got to take care of.
You do, and I got to tell you, that's another one. And like I said, you got a girl like Isla who's in the ring. Like I said, you guys killed it. And I truly want to see you guys get back in there. Just please recover from that injury. Do your damnedest. We'll get you back in there very soon. And I'll tell you right now, Salina, we're coming towards the end of our time here, but you are more than welcome to come on back on the show anytime. I'd be happy to have you again in the future.
Thank you. And before I go, I want to clarify something.
Yeah.
I said I got injured in that match, but I don't want any rumors. I got injured on my own. She did not touch me. It was not her fault.
Okay.
Let me clarify that.
No problem.
But, I know the rumors stuff online.
Well, because everything on the internet is true, right, Selena? Because everything on the internet is true. It's right. Everything's accurate. All right.
Yep.
Now, I have to say, as someone who's in the professional wrestling game, I love to ask any advice that you would give guys or gals that want to pursue a career in professional wrestling. Do you have any advice for them?
Be respectful. That's so important, and so many people don't have it. Be respectful, be passionate, and never give up. That sounds cliche, but hey, it's true. You can't give up.
Well, perfectly, beautifully said there as well, Selena, because like I mentioned, like never give up, but still, respect is a key component and proponent in all facets of life and not just in wrestling, so respect is key, and I'm glad you said that because unfortunately in this day and age, respect is kind of a lost art.
Yes, and in not just in wrestling, in life, it's so needed.
Exactly. So, Selena, I'm going to step back. I'm going to give you the floor. Promote the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Promote MLW. The floor is yours, Miss Renta. Go right ahead.
Okay, my all of my social medias are the same. Salina de la Renta. Not very easy to pronounce, but easy to spell. SALINADELARENTA.
All right, and MLW, just keep on rocking at MLW on Twitter. I'll put the links to MLW. You can check out Miss De La Renta on MLW TV and just the whole nine. Selena, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'm going to say this right now. Besides you coming back on in the future, if you and Aria Blake want to come on together, we'll have a Spoiled Brats interview. We'll have some fun on that end as well.
Awesome. That sounds so interesting. I'm gonna text her right now and see if we can get that done.
We'll get that done in the future, absolutely. Miss De La Renta, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, and I look forward to having you back in the future. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you as well. Have a wonderful day.